So those two things kind of seem to go together there. If I'm ever going to get this put back in there. And I've labeled these things, you can see, with little labels you can get at Home Depot or Office Depot. See right there. So yeah, it's pretty obvious to me, but someone who didn't know, they wouldn't know what that was. And I try to make this kit user friendly, knowing that I'm not necessarily the only one that may be digging in here and using things, and that, you know, someone may not be trained, have the training that I do. So over here we've got some bit more, but we've got mole skin, which is really nice to treat if someone's getting a blister or that type of thing. We've got what we got here, an umbilical clamp. If I ever, God forbid, had to deliver a child in the field, I could clamp off the umbilical cord with that. This is a disposable clamp. I've got here a triangle bandage. A triangle bandage is really handy for a sling. You've seen people with with the broken arm, and then you put the triangle deal and go around their neck. You can use. There's lots of information online how you can really use those in lots of applications for slings and all manner of things. So I've got the triangle bandage, and then underneath of there I see that there's a whole bunch more trauma sponges and plastic bags. I got a lot of plastic bag stuff tucked into different places. I can see that too. So here I've got scissors. When I went through training and did all my medical work, we always used trauma shears, and this was an idea I kind of got from Nut and Fancy to put in his kit, that he liked these better. And I have to agree that most of the trauma shears that you get are made in China and really poor quality. If you could find some proper American ones, they might be all right. But I've liked this. The Fiskars scissors are a lot more precise. They cut better. They cut clothing well. They're extremely sharp, and I think it's a better way to go. I agree with him on that. So getting into here, we're going to have a lot more bandage stuff here. Some specialty things that maybe most people have not been aware of or have used. So let's pull this. I'm not going to pull this out because this is Tegaderm. What Tegaderm is it's a bandage. You can see here these are big ones, and this is the same thing here. These are some small ones. But you've seen, if you've been in surgery or been in a hospital, a bandage that they put on that's clear, and it's kind of like a Gore-Tex material. It breathes. It will keep water and dirt and contaminants out, but it will allow the skin to breathe a little bit. And it's really good. They're big and you can cover. So if you get something, a nasty cut, you can treat it. You can slap this on, and it's got adhesive on it, and it moves around, and it's a really comfortable bandage. So this is really good if you're in the backwoods and hiking and you need to keep moving and keep working. This Tegaderm is a great way to go. So multiple sizes, probably some medium ones in there, and these smaller Tegaderms. Blister burn dressings I have in here. Now this is a Telfa, or a non-adherent dressing. It's a dressing that you can put directly onto a wound, and it has kind of a jelly-like material on it that prevents it from sticking to the wound. I mean, if you get something, a really bad abrasion or a really bad cut, and you put that gauze on there, well, as soon as that blood dries, it kind of coagulates, and it makes this monolith on there that when you need to remove it and to change that dressing, it can completely it can disturb the wound and tear everything up, and you're back to where you started again. So these non-adherent dressings, or these Telfas, they will not stick to the blood. So if you have something like that, you can put it directly on the wound, and then you can take you can gauze around it, or you can take the tape and tape it down and keep pressure on it, and when you need to change these dressings, they won't adhere, they won't stick. So I think Telfa is kind of the brand name. All different sizes, you can see here, and you could feel kind of they're gooey in there. They're just a moist dressing that won't the blood won't stick to. And underneath of there's more. Looks like a whole bunch more of the dressings. As I said, you want to stuff those in everywhere you can get them. Here we've got more gauze pads. with my experience, my main thing I'm concerned with is stopping bleeding. You know, so I lots of blood stoppers. 4x4s seem to fit best in here, and we have some smaller 3x3 12-ply gauze pads on here. But this pocket here is just primarily all dressings, reasonably sterile dressings. I mean, you're not going to keep everything sterile in this environment when you're using it. That's the way it is. Nylon suture kit, needle and nylon there if you need to do some stitching. So that's kept there on top. And then over here in this pocket, what do we got here? We've got a bee sting kit, or excuse me, a snake bite kit. We have snakes in this area, and it's a really slick little kit. It's got a small scalpel on the inside. Many of you guys have seen these before. Anyway, you can see right there, it's a little knife. It's in that plastic sheath there that you use. So if you get a snake will bite you, there'll be 2 puncture wounds here, or possibly 4, but usually 2. And that's how the venom is injected. You take the knife and you cut across on those, and then this piece here actually makes a suction. So there's a rope there for a tourniquet. You put a tourniquet around the upper part of the extremity to prevent the blood from going into the heart, to the brain, and tighten that off really quick, and then use this on the incisions to draw a vacuum to pull that venom out. So that's what a snake bite kit is. They're pretty common. Most hardware stores will have them, REI, but a great little compact thing that weighs nothing. You can throw in any kit. Another thing that I've ran a lot of in the fire department was diabetic emergencies. So this is Instaglucose. It's just a pure, super concentrated sugar. And it's amazing when you see someone having a diabetic episode, squirt this stuff in their mouth, and they'll just go from a raving loony to a normal, rational person again. It's astonishing. I just couldn't believe it the first time I saw it. I've got here some Afterbite. This is kind of just probably just an alcohol solution on there that you can rub on the skin. Feels like alcohol. That gives some relief. This is also a nice thing for kids and just helps people physically and psychologically. I got some nasal airways. I've always packed these around. I've never used one. There's one for pediatric, a small one, and there's one for more for an adults. You can lubricate this up with anything you have. You could rip off some of this dressing here and put some lubricate on there, and this actually feeds down the nose. If you had a major face trauma or the patient wasn't able to get it, weren't able to get an airway. I mean, this is not a substitute for intubation, but I've never used one, never seen one used, trained on it, but they're in there. They don't take up much space. Here's another tourniquet, same as the other one I showed you over here on this side. This is big enough to go around an arm, not a leg, but by linking 2 of these together, you could possibly get it stretched around someone's leg if you needed to do that. So we have here some insect repellent, some 100% DEET, some nasty stuff. I hate to use it, but sometimes you get in a situation where mosquitoes are just such a problem that you got to do something just to relieve it. So if you got a patient that is down and mosquitoes are swarming all over them, a couple sprays of this around and just can make life comfortable for everyone. And here I see that I do have some lubricating jelly for the nasal airways to help slide those in, because they don't go in very easily, and it's not a very fun, definitely not a very fun process. All right, so we'll put this back. So we're getting to the end. This is going faster than I thought it would. This is the where I keep the medicine. I'll put this back later here. I can probably manage this. So lots of stuff here, and I'm going to take one here for the team and take this out because it wasn't easy to put in. But I'll show you what medicines I have elected to carry and kind of why. There's nothing here you can't buy off over the counter. that I know of. I don't think I have anything here special like I do it in the big kit. Okay, so we've got some aspirin. You can buy these in REI. They have little packets of them. Just they've got 1 or 2 in there. It's nice. I put the expiration date on the back, so I could rotate those out. Again, I've labeled them. It is labeled there, but not all of them are clear, so I labeled them anyway. So we've got aspirin there, and we've got a triple antibiotic ointment there. We've got lobermide. You can see right there, lobermide, and a lot of people are not going to know what that's for. I put in the parentheses that this treats diarrhea. So if you have someone that's gotten giardia or some bad water, that can bring a lot of relief to them. I've got some burn gel here. That's kind of in the medicine side. We can deal with minor burns, campfire, common thing. I've got Tylenol, some salt. We've got sting aids. This is bee sting topical ointment for bee stings. It helps out. We've got ibuprofen. We've got Nutrilox. It's an antacid for upset stomach, digestion issues. We've got Cetaphil, which is a non-aspirin minor pain reliever for someone who may be allergic to aspirin. And then we've got some penicillin here. Yeah, 500 milligrams. It's out of its expiration date. Probably something I had left over, but that's not going to be over the counter. Looks like we've got some more salt there. So that's the little kind of the pharmacy side of it. And then over here, I don't need to take these out. We know what these are. These are just the wrap dressings for a sprained ankle. There's 3 different sizes. There's a big large one here, and then a medium one, then a smaller one for sprained elbows or wrists or ankles or knees or a variety of different things. So yeah, that's kind of the kit. It's nice for me to kind of go back through this because it's been a long time since I have put it together. I guess it's been 3 years. And some of these medicines here, it's probably about time that I rotate them out. But I'll tell you what, you can really save the day with this. The first aid kits that you buy at REI and at the store are not very good. They don't have. I just don't think they're very well thought out. It just doesn't seem to me that they're put together by people who actually have used the things, and they are lacking oftentimes in blood sponges, and I've just not been impressed with them. And they're not cheap either. And it's the thing with the first aid kit is that if you go online, go on eBay or medical supply stores, you can buy a lot of these things bulk for not much more than what you're going to pay for just a small quantity. And the thing that I have found that's nice about that is that when you can put together you can almost put together 4 or 5 kits for the same price as you can one when you buy in bulk. Because what I found is that you'll get a whole box of these little one-time use aspirins, and you'll get a whole box of the gauze pads and the band-aids and such. And so you just take out, maybe you'll use half of them for your big kit, and then you have a whole bunch of them left over that you've already paid for, and then you can put together smaller kits, just small kits that can go inside of a pack. We've got those spread all over the place. We've got them in Mrs. Wranglerstar's car and my car, and got them in my backpack for cross-country skiing, and got one in the truck and the glove box, and just all over the place. And you can put together those kits. Give one to your kids, and give one. They make great gifts. Give one to your wife. Make sure she's got one in her car, and you'll be set. But I think for most people, this is really a comprehensive kit that you can put together for a couple $100s. But yeah, it sounds like a lot. But the thing is you're going to have a lot of extra for replenishing it and doing multiple kits. I think you could put together 2 of these or 3 of these if you buy the things right in bulk. The medical supply stuff is usually pretty cheap online. Lots of it on eBay. I know I bought that. So that's it. That's my kit. And don't skimp on this container. Make sure you go with a good quality brand like the Blackhawk. I can't say enough good about it. It's been really durable. You know, we just take it and just throw it. And always toss it in the van and throwing it here, and it bounces around, and it's well built, and it's just the perfect size. I think it makes the perfect med kit. Because the reality is, you know, I can put together the super paramedic kit, you know, you're going to have on the fire engine, on the ambulances, but are you going to take this with you? I mean, are you really going to carry this around with you all the time and always have it in your car? You know, do you need stuff for advanced airway? You know, do you need, you just don't. Most people don't have the training anyway, and the reality of it, it's like carrying a firearm that's too big. You know, decide to concealed carry with a full-size 1911. You know, you might carry it for a month or 2, but after a while you're going to start leaving it home. This has not been the case. So thank you for watching, and let me know how if you have any. This would be a good forum for sharing ideas. I'm not saying this is the end all or this is the best way to go. It's just the kit that I put together, and if you have some good ideas, share those in the comments. And I'm always learning and growing and enjoying that. So one thing that I have recently I'm getting back into is I'm going to get my EMT back. I got to go back through the whole process again, another 6 months of pain, because I left it, but I volunteered with our local fire department, and I'm getting all my wildland certifications, and so I'll be, hopefully next summer, be getting back into wildland and getting my engine boss before too much longer. I'm working hard on that and doing all the training and classes now. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. So I'll have some more stories to share with you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. One other thing that I forgot that should go with a kit is this book here. It's called Where There Is No Doctor. And this is a great book if you really get into trouble. And it covers, in simple terms for the layman, how to deal with all manner of things, from setting bones to dealing with pregnancy, to dealing with hernias, and nicely illustrated gunshot wounds and traumas and all different types of things. And it's coming from the perspective of missionaries and people that are working in the medical field in remote third world countries where there is no option. You know, and you're just not going to get an ambulance. You're not going to get a doctor. You need to deal with this yourself. So I think this is great for the homesteader and for a million different reasons. We just don't have time to learn everything, and we don't have all time to go to medical school. So this is a real lifesaver. And so this is a great book. Just have this, and if the nice thing about books is that you're always going to have them. You know, the internet, we can't search it, we can't trust it and rely on it all the time. It goes down, and it's very fragile. But these things to go with our kit is essential.